can I buy another property? How do I do it? Because right now I'm thinking I got to pay off what I have now before I get something else. I have to get at least 15 years because I want to pay it off before I reach retirement. I'm 45. I'm like feeling pressure to rush and to save up a lot of money so I can damn near buy something like outright.
Okay,
And
here's
so
what you want to
maybe
do.
I'm
All right.
pausing.
Number one, never pay cash for a house. Always borrow the money. That's number one. How do you feel about that?
That makes me nervous
I
because I
understand.
do follow Dave Ramsey,
I
and
understand.
that's not what he likes.
All right.
But
Never pay
I'm
cash.
willing to learn. I'm
Okay.
down to learn.
Yeah. Never pay cash for a house. That's number one. And here's the point on this, and you tell me if it makes sense. If you take your cash out, if you have enough cash to pay for a house, that means you're probably not taking it out of a bank. You're probably taking it out of some sort of investment, correct?
That would be correct.
Okay. And your investment could be making somewhere between 7 and 10% a year on average.
Maybe we're getting in those math questions, but maybe.
Okay, it's not a math question. This is just numbers. Okay. I'm not asking you to do the math. Okay. Okay. 7 to 10%. Okay. Does it make sense to take money out of a 10% investment to purchase something you could actually borrow the money at 1% or less?
Oh, well, okay.
Okay. That's not real math there. Do you see where we're going here?
Yes.
So if we do this thing right, we can borrow the money, and then by paying the loan back in a certain fashion, we can cut our interest cost severely. If we know that we could pay a lot less interest, then it could be figured out what the interest rate would have to be to accomplish the same goal. So now, if your interest rate is 1% or less, by figuring out how much interest you actually did pay, wow, that could be tremendous. So here's a quick synopsis. Let's just say that you're supposed to pay $100,000 in interest on a loan, but you end up paying $22,000 instead. Would that be good?
I would say yes.
Okay. And you're saving $78,000 that most people are going to pay to acquire the same asset. What if you could invest that $78,000 that other people are paying? Would that be a good idea?
That sounds good to me too.
All right. So what I'm trying to do is give you some stuff that doesn't make you so nervous about getting into this. What makes us nervous is the unknown. So we're looking at, if I borrow the money, then there's something bad about it, but because I've been told it was bad, but I don't know what is actually bad about borrowing the money. What is actually bad about borrowing the money? And let us talk about that, because you're going to help a lot of people today. What's bad about borrowing the money?
Owing it.
Owing it. Okay. Owing it is bad. But why is owing it bad? So can you drill down for me a little bit more? Why is owing it bad?
Because now I'm beholden to someone else.
Right.
I don't have full control over my own decisions.
All right. Okay. And that would be true. Is there any other reasons for that?
I don't like owing people money.
There you go. There you go. All right. So let me ask you this. Do you necessarily like shopping?
I do not like shopping.
You don't like shopping. But when you do have to buy something, how do you go about it? Do you try to save as much money as you can?
I do.
Okay. So you don't like paying retail?
I do not.
Okay. So if you could buy something wholesale instead of retail, that would be better for you, correct?
Absolutely.
So here's what's going on with borrowing money. We borrow it at retail. Therefore, it takes us forever and a day to pay it off. But what if we could borrow it at wholesale, knowing that going in, getting our money at a severe discount? It has very little to do with the interest rate. It has everything to do with controlling interest cost.
Nice.
So that's kind of where we're going with this. So if I could take my money, keep it in my investment, making the 7 to 10%. Lord have mercy. Here we go. We're getting ready. All right. And then I can borrow somebody else's money at an effective interest rate of around 1%, get it at a severe discount, pay it off in about 7 years. Oh my goodness, here we go, using somebody else's money, paying off the debt in about 7 years, and my money was used and is still making money in my investment. Whoo, I'm getting excited just thinking about it, Erin. How about you?
Me too. But my question is,
Yes.
regular people have access to this wholesale?
Oh, yes. Regular people have access to it if they understand how to read an amortization schedule.
Okay.
Well, let me give you just an example that we don't have to do much math on, okay? And we're going to put it at 3.5%, okay? And the reason why people don't like borrowing money, because at 3.5%, the bank wants $215,797 interest on a $350,000 loan. Well, that is not 3.5%. It's actually 61%. So we're signing up for a 61% loan and we don't even realize it. So I'm going to share one little tip with you today, Miss Erin, okay? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So the very first payment on this thing, all right? The payment on this loan is $1,571.66. But when you make that very first payment, only $550.83 goes to principal and $1,020 goes to interest. Oh, I'm fainting just looking at it. All right. And here's what's happening on the next payment. $552.43 goes to principal and $1,019.23 goes to interest. So here's what I need you to kind of visualize. Let's just say we make our first payment in January, Miss Erin, and only $550.83 goes to principal. But by looking at the amortization schedule, we can see that February's principal payment is $552.43. Follow me so far?
Yes.
Is there any rule that says I have to wait to February to give the bank that $552.43?
Not at all.
If I had it, could I give it to them in January?
Yes, sir.
And if I did, do you know I'm paid down to the principal balance on line 2 on my amortization schedule in January? I just got rid of one whole payment for $552. My next mortgage payment is actually on line 3 of my schedule for February now. And by doing that, I just saved $1,019.23 in interest I never have to pay. Good stuff?
Yes.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.